Welcome back to Yoga for Irish Dance. My name is Amelia, and today's practice is going to be a longer class. It's going to be kind of a whole body class. We're going to hit a little bit of everything. So get into something that you feel comfortable practicing yoga in, and let's get started. To begin today's practice, we're going to start laying down. So make your way down to the ground, down to your mat, finding a comfortable laying position, and you can decide if you want your legs in or fully stretched out. If you have any low back issues, a nice thing to do is to bring the feet to the outer corners of the mat and let the knees find each other here. If you need to add any blankets or bolsters or anything, that works as well. So just beginning to settle the mind, settle the body in whatever position you have chosen. And taking a second to check in with the body, with the breath. Where is the mind right now? Where are the thoughts? Just do a quick full body scan. Maybe start at the top of the head and work your way down, not judging anything or changing anything, just noticing where the body is at physically today, how things feel. And after you've done that, maybe begin to bring that focus to the breath. Wherever the breath is, maybe you find it's in your low belly, maybe you find it's in your chest or your ribs. You may choose to deepen the breath, pulling that inhale and exhale, extending them a little bit longer. You might choose to bring one hand to the low belly, one hand to the heart, just to feel that breath in the body and where it's at. If you find it difficult to focus on the breath, that's okay. Just gently remind yourself that if any thoughts or worries or anything pop into the head, that you can acknowledge those things, you can let them go, and you can come back to the center and back to the breath. And it doesn't matter how many times you have to do that. You can always come back to that nice deep inhale and exhale. Remind yourself that you've already chosen to take this time for this practice. So you really don't need to or have to worry about anything else. As we get into today's practice, I might give a pose that doesn't feel right for you or right for your body today. And just know that you should honor that. and do whatever pose does feel good. So I'll also try to give lots of options, lots of modifications, but if it's just something that doesn't feel right, always feel free to move to a different pose, even if it's completely different than what I'm doing. Make sure to honor without any judgment where your body is at today, in your mind and your breath. Begin by just wiggling the toes and then the fingers. Maybe find some wrist movement, some ankle movement. If those legs are extended or bent, you might pull them into the chest. You might peel the forehead up to meet those knees. A little rocking motion side to side. Massage that low back. Gently come to one side of the body, bottom arm reached out. Rest here for a second. And then when you're ready, we're going to push our way up to seated. Now, if you did get so relaxed that the eyes happened to close, feel free to open them now. We're going to make our way to easy pose, so just crossing one leg in front of the other and finding those sits bones at the base of our pelvis to sit up and lengthen through the whole spine. So we're extending energy up through the top of the head and down through that tailbone, feeling nice and grounded here. Take a second, just roll the shoulders up and back. Hands can fall wherever you want here. And we're going to get started with a little breath to heart center. So inhale, arms reach up, reaching long overhead. Exhale, pull through heart center. We do that again. Inhale. Exhale, and feel that grounding as you exhale and pull to heart center. 2 more with your breath. Last one. Hands pull through heart center and come down. We inhale, one arm long, reaching. Exhale, find a little lean side body stretch. We're open through the rib cage. We're grounded through that opposite hip here. Inhale, long. Exhale, release, other side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge. Again, feeling that openness through the side body here. Inhale, tall. Exhale, release. Let's go one more time each side. As you reach long, make sure that shoulder is still not up by the ear. It's sliding down and back here. Last time, other side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, tall. Exhale, release. We're going to leave one leg bent and extend the other one out. I'm going to move to a side position so you can see a little bit better. And it doesn't matter where that tucked foot is, making sure it's comfortable for your knee, for your ankle, for all your joints today. And our other foot is out in front of us, flexed long. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Nice long spine. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping that long spine. So we're not rounding yet, but if you do want to, you can always feel free to drop the arms. But when you drop the arms, make sure you don't round through that spine. So we're still long here. Inhale a little bit longer. Exhale. Now as you exhale, you can begin to round, but lead with that chest, with that heart. before folding forward here. And it really doesn't matter, where that fold lands for you at all. Again, we're always approaching ourselves, our practice, with no judgment. No judgment of where we think we should be or where we are. Just being here, present in the moment. Inhale, reach long to a flat back. Exhale, release. 2 more times, flowing with the breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flat back. Inhale, reach a little longer. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Last time, moving with your breath again. If you finish before I do, just enjoying a tall seated position. But take your time here. Let's switch sides, tucking that other leg in, extending that other foot out. And again, or for the first time today, no judgment again, but each side of the body is going to feel different and is going to look different. And that is perfect because that's what we do as humans. We're different side to side. So second side, let's inhale long. Exhale, hinge, flat back. We hold here. Again, you can always release those arms, but make sure you don't release the spine curved yet. We're still nice and flat back here. Inhale a little bit longer. Now on your exhale, lead with the heart and then round forward towards that leg. We're going to hold here for a full breath cycle, a nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, tall. 2 more times with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, hinge from that hip. Inhale, taller. Exhale, heart leads the way. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Last time with the breath. Take your time. Feel the sensation wherever you feel it. And then on your exhale, you release. Pulling that foot in to cross it in front again. We're going to roll over the feet or find a comfortable way to make your way to tabletop. When we get to tabletop, if you need any extra padding, feel free to grab a blanket or something to go under the knees. You can always use blocks under the hands to add some elevation, or come to fists if you have any wrist discomfort. In our tabletop, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Nice long spine here. Navel pulls in. We've got energy, just like in our easy pose, from the top of the head radiating and down through that tailbone as well. Take a breath here. Feel grounded through the knees and the hands. Take a full deep inhale. And on your exhale, press it all out around the spine, pulling it up, looking through the arms. Inhale, chin leads chest up, dropping the belly down. We move here through our cat-cow for a couple breath cycles, warming up here more time, each direction, full breath cycle. We'll all meet in our tabletop. When you come to that tabletop position, we're going to move to an unstable or unbalanced tabletop. So what that means is you're going to pick one leg to extend out. Hips are going to stay square towards the mat. If you had little headlights on your pelvis bones, they'd be pointing right down. And then if you want, extend the opposite arm. Lots of options. So you can stay with one. You can stay with the arm and the leg grounded. You could lift the leg. You could lift the arm. Press energy through that back heel. Toes pointed down. Energy through the fingertips. Pull the navel to spine. Inhale. Exhale. Pull the knee in and the elbow in. Give it a little kiss. And then press back out. We do that again. Exhale. Pull in. Inhale. 2 more times. Warming up that core. Using that core stability here. Last time. Gently release and pull it in. Switching sides. Shift that weight. Extend that opposite leg. Extend the other arm. Again, you got lots of options here. One arm, one leg. Leave it grounded, whatever you want. If you want to lift one or both, begin to do that now. Check in with the pelvis. Are you square? Are you pressing energy through that back heel? Toes pointed down. Nice big inhale. Reach long. Exhale. Pull the knee in and the elbow in. Inhale. Reach back out. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. We really feel our core engage. We're stabilizing. We're moving slowly with intention. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Set it down. Plant the hand and the foot. Bring the knees to the outer corners of the mat. Big toes find each other. Press the hips back. Reach the arms forward. Child's pose. If you want the forehead to rest on something here, you could grab a pillow. You could use your hands or fists. Especially if you have any sinus issues, it's kind of nice to elevate a little bit more. Just releasing that belly. If you're like me and you wear glasses, I always have to take mine off when I get here so that I can really rest my head on the ground. If you're ready, or when you're ready, we're going to press the hips forward, walk the hands back in, step the knees in as well. We're going to get set up for our first down dog. So we start in that tabletop. I like to walk my hands a little bit more forward than my shoulders. Feet stay hips width or 1.5 to 2 fists apart. Tuck the back toes, lift the hips, and you're in your down dog. Pressing through the pinky and through the index finger and the thumb. Heels and feet are parallel here. You might take a little, pedal it out, walk it a little bit. And then find some stillness here in your downward facing dog. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale, lift one leg, 3-legged dog. Hips are square just like in our unbalanced tabletop. Toes are pointing down. Inhale, exhale, pull the knee into chest, floating it forward. Press back up, 3-legged dog. Do that again. Pull it in, knee comes to chest, floating, and press back up. This time, We're gonna pull it in, look between our thumbs, and then plant that hand. If you need to help it a little bit, that's okay. We're gonna take that back foot, rotate it so that we can plant the heel. Take a nice big inhale. Begin to rise up. Leg is there if you need it. Windmill, open the arms. We come to a warrior two. Now that back foot, if you want it to be in line with your front heel, you can, or it can be a little bit further out. That's going to help with stability, help with the pelvis a little bit. Choose what feels comfortable for you. The foot is slightly turned out, so it's not quite parallel with that mat. The back heel presses back a little bit more. We turn our shoulders and our hips towards the front of the room. They're in alignment. And then we open those arms up and gaze over our front arm. It's a full body pose here. Inhale, reach forward, flip that palm up, and then bring it back and over for a little sun warrior. When we're here, just like in our side body bends at the beginning, we're open. We're not closed and down. The heart is lifted and open. Rib cage is open as well. Keeping energy through the front leg and through that extended back leg. Inhale. Exhale, come through that warrior two. And then spin, lift the back heel as the arms come down to frame the foot again. Inhale, exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Take a little pedal if you need it. Inhale, other leg up. We hold here for a breath cycle, three-legged dog. Feeling a nice stretch, a nice opening. Check in with the pelvis. Check in with those shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, float that knee forward to chest. And press it back up, three-legged dog. Float it forward again. And back. So we engage that core. We use that stability again. This time, check between those hands. Step the foot up. If you need to help it, perfectly fine. Rotate that back foot. Inhale, help yourself up on your leg if you need to, or windmill. Windmill, open those arms. I'm going to flip so you guys can watch me on this side. So we've got energy, like I mentioned, through that back leg, and obviously energy through the front leg as well. Align the hips and the shoulders facing the front. Open those arms out. Back foot might be in a slightly different position than it was for your first warrior two. And that's okay. That's perfect. Take a breath here. Feel grounded. Inhale. Slide forward. Flip that front palm. Exhale. Bring it into that sun warrior. Check in with the ribs. Feel that opening here. Keep that deep bend in the front leg. Inhale, exhale, return to your warrior two. Rotate the back heel so it lifts up. Hands find the ground. We step back to a down dog. Pedal those feet out. Find a little bit of stillness. And now we're going to move through all of those poses a little bit quicker with our breath. So back to our first side. Inhale, leg raises. Exhale, pull it into chest. Inhale, back up. Exhale, pull it in. Third time, inhale. Exhale, reach it through. Plant the foot. Rotate that back foot. Inhale, up. Warrior two. Exhale, ground. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, sun warrior. Inhale, return, rotating that foot all the way back. Step it back, downward dog. Inhale, other leg up. Exhale, glide forward. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, glide forward. Plant that foot between the hands. Help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. Inhale, come up. Warrior two, strong. Exhale, ground. Check in with the front knee. It's in line with that ankle. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, press up, sun warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, release, pivot that back foot. Downward facing dog. One more time each side. Moving with your breath at your own pace. You might be slightly quicker than me. You might be a little bit slower, taking your time. Just listen to your body and what it needs today. Make sure you're planting, grounding, and then lifting up. Take your time. If you're on your second side with me, we begin with that three-legged dog. And then we pull the knee into chest 3 times. And that third one is when we step it through. Ground down. And then again, if you need help, use that leg. And then open into your warrior two. Check in with that knee. If you're finishing up, we'll come to a downward facing dog. Maybe pedal those feet out for a second. And then bring the knees to the outer corners of the mat. Press it back. Find your child's pose. We're all meeting in our child's pose. So if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Take your time finishing up wherever you're at. And then once you get to your child's pose, just sinking those hips back. Same options here to rest the forehead on something. Just honoring where you're at. As you find some stillness in your child's pose, check in with the body. Where's the breath? Where do you feel sensation in the body right now? If you're ready, I'm going to step those hands in, tuck the back knees, tuck the back toes, and find our way to a downward facing dog again. Lifting the hips. From here, we're going to gently walk the feet in towards those hands to find our Uttanasana or forward fold. Lots of options in your fold here. First option would be elevating the fold as much as you want or need. If you don't have blocks, you could use books. You could just come a little bit higher up on the legs. Knees can have a generous bend here, but as you find your forward fold, find some length here in your Uttanasana through the backs of the legs, through the hamstrings. Release the head, nod it yes, nod it no. You might clasp opposite hand, opposite elbow, and find a gentle sway. Bringing the hands back down to wherever you are grounding them at. We're going to bend one leg and root that same hand down. Inhale. Opposite hand guides the rib cage open, just finding a little twist here. Finding a little extension through that one side. Inhale, exhale, release. Let's switch sides. Bend that leg deeply. Plant that hand. Opposite arm guides the rib cage open. And we find a little twist. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, come to flat back. Exhale, release. Let's do that again. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. This time, bending those knees deeply. And on your inhale, rolling up slow. Vertebrae by vertebrae, head and neck. Very last things to come up here. And as you find yourself standing tall, we come to our Tadasana mountain pose. Feet are rooted, hips width apart. Nice and lifted here. Shoulders, scapula drop down the back. Palms face forward, navel pulls to spine. Kneecaps are lifted. We're feeling grounded through all four corners of the feet here. Tadasana is a lovely pose. It might seem like you're just standing here, but you're really engaged through the whole body. So enjoy this moment here, standing tall, feeling grounded, feeling connected to the earth beneath you, feeling supported by the earth beneath you. Take a breath. Inhale. Reach long. Exhale, pull the heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Two more with your breath. Just like when we were seated, as we pull the heart center, we feel grounded. Last one. Nice. We're going to move to a couple of balance poses. The first one we're going to do is tree pose. If you need to hold on to something for your balance, if you need to keep one foot more on the ground, that's always an option. But just shift your weight to one side. Opposite heel is going to lift, and then that knee is going to point out. You could leave that foot on the ground just like it is right there. You could lift a little bit more, or you could go all the way up onto that upper thigh. I am not that skilled, so I don't go all the way up. So choose where you need to be or want to be, and it's perfectly fine. So find that position. Inhale, bring the hands to heart center. Now in our tree pose, we are grounded. We feel like we have roots going through that base leg into the earth, holding us steady. Inhale, exhale, let's release and switch sides. Ground that opposite foot. Lift the opposite heel. Second side might look different than the first side. Decide where you want this foot to land. High, low, middle, whatever you need. No judgment. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Second side, we imagine those roots again. Pull the belly in tight and continue breathing. Sometimes looking just in front of us on the floor can also help with our balance. And balance is just one of those things that's different, not only side to side, but day to day as well. Inhale. Exhale, release. Back to your Tadasana. Make sure the shoulders are down away from the ears. Right here, we're going to do a little mountain pose with heel lift. So inhale nice and tall. Exhale, lift the heels a little or a lot, up to you. Trying to keep those ankles from rolling out or in. We're in this parallel position, which as dancers sometimes feels a little bit unnatural. We're so used to doing everything turned out, but it's really important to work those opposing muscle groups. Inhale, a little bit higher if you can. Exhale, release. Give it a little shake. Stay in that mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms long. On your next exhale, we're going to press the weight into the heels and sit back like we're sitting into a chair for our chair pose. Now when you're here, pull the belly to spine. Hands could stay lifted. They could also come to heart center. Feet could stay in this hips width apart, or they could be together. But you want to check in as you're holding here that the knees aren't rocking in or out. We're staying nice in alignment as we hold here for a second. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, releasing down. Find that sway side to side. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. This time, we bend those knees, send the weight back into those heels. Inhale, come up, chair pose again. Shift forward, lift the heels, working that balance again. Inhale. Exhale, extend the legs, coming tall. Inhale. Exhale, release the heels, pull the hands to heart center. Nice. Inhale. Exhale, hands pull to heart center, drawing you forward into your forward fold again. Exhale, release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, deeply bend those legs as you lift into your chair pose. Weight is back in the heels to start. Shifting forward. Inhale. Exhale, standing tall. Inhale. Exhale, heart center. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Take your time, moving with your breath, right? Find that rhythm. As you shift into your chair pose, nice long spine, energy here. As you shift the weight into the toes, holding for a second, feeling that strength through the legs, and then grounding through heart center. Nice, guys. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Take a second here, bending those knees, feeling a little sway side to side. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog again. Maybe find a little pedaling. And then find some stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale. We're going to flow forward, finding a plank. And then rotate so that the inside of the elbows are facing the front of the mat. Shift a little more forward, drop the knees if you want. Chaturanga. Pulling through to a little baby cobra. or pressing all the way up to a full cobra. You might choose to come to upward facing dog, pressing through those toes, lifting the legs. Inhale, exhale, press it back, child's pose. You're all doing great. No judgment here again, right? Shifting forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's flow one more time. Inhale, shifting forward, pulling the navel to spine. Shifting a little more forward, lowering into your chaturanga. Knees can touch down first if you want, and then press up into whatever variation you want here. On your exhale, hips send back, child's pose. Gently walk the hands in and press up in our kneeling pose. Now, if kneeling doesn't feel good, you can always tuck something right here to sit up a little bit more, or you can come back to that cross-legged easy pose. But we're just gonna sit tall here for a second and refocus. Where's the breath? Where is the sensation in your body right now? Inhale and just roll those shoulders back on your exhale. Let's do that again. Let's take that same shoulder roll forward. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, draw to heart center. Nice. Gently coming to one hip to come back down into that easy pose. You might choose to cross the other foot in front this time, if you remember which foot you crossed in front when we started. If you don't, that's okay. We sit nice and tall. We're going to inhale, arms reach long, and on our exhale, we're going to open and find a little twist here. On each inhale, we grow a little bit taller, and on each exhale, we might find ourselves able to deepen our twist, but we're not pulling into it or forcing it. Inhale, exhale, release. Switching sides. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, release. Find that twist, second side. Again, with your inhale, come a little taller. On your exhale, you might find a more deepness here. Inhale, exhale, return center. We're going to do a similar twisting motion, and you can certainly leave the legs here if that is perfectly comfortable for you. Other options, you could extend one leg and cross that opposite leg over. We want to make sure we're still on those sits bones, whatever option you pick. Or, if this feels really great for you today, you could tuck that opposite foot. And again, making sure you're still focused on getting that sits bone down here. And you could be right here. We're opening through the outer thigh right here. So choose what works for you. We're going to inhale tall. Exhale, open. As you find this opening, again, we're trying to lift a little taller through the top of the head. taller. Exhale, release, center. Let's switch sides. Same option, second side. You could just come to that easy pose. You could cross the leg with one leg extended out, or you could tuck that foot in. Whatever feels great for your second side. Inhale long. Exhale, release. Find some length here through the spine. Grounding through that opposite hip. Inhale. Exhale, release, center. Let's uncross the feet. Soles of the feet find each other for butterfly or Baddha Konasana. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Start with that flat back that we practiced at the beginning of class. Hands might be at the ankles or the feet, whatever is comfortable. You might also choose to have pillows under the knees for support if that's what you need today. Inhale a little bit longer. Exhale, now round forward. Heart leads the way. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. 2 more times with your breath now. Inhale. Exhale, flat back. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale, tall. Last time, moving with your breath. Feeling the openness through the hips here. Feeling the heart guiding us. Nice. Once you get back to your tall seated position, we are going to start getting set up for a Shavasana. So if you want to stay with the soles of the feet together, you could just recline back and be in Supta Baddha Konasana, or those knees can fold in. You can use the legs to gently roll yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae. When we get here, we're going to adjust a little bit, maybe take a little windshield wiper of the legs, release those hips. That always feels really good. Just taking a second to do one last little anything you might need to do. And if you don't have time for joining in Shavasana, that's okay as well. But it is a moment of quiet, of stillness. So if you have time for that today, that's where we're heading next. So just getting out any last little bit of tension or wiggles. And then just like at the beginning of class, or like I just said, you could be right here, soles of the feet together, knees open. You could also have the feet on the outer edges of the mat and let the knees find each other. Or you could be extended out nice and long. You might put a pillow under the head, put on a jacket, something to keep a little bit warm. I like to gently tuck my shoulder blades under so that my palms can face the sky. But really, finding whatever position feels comfortable for you. You could also be in that seated pose if you prefer. And as you begin to refocus on the breath and the body, you might find a soft gaze of the eyes, or they might close completely. Up to you. Do what feels comfortable here. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice how the mind feels after your practice. I always find that I get a little bit of a smile sometimes when I'm practicing yoga, and that is okay. It's more than okay. It's wonderful to smile. So if you find yourself in your Shavasana wanting to smile, do so. Whatever feelings arise, whatever thoughts arise, try not to label them as good or bad. Just notice. And then, after you notice those thoughts, gently shift the focus back to your breath. Finding a deepness here. I like to breathe into my low belly. Sometimes putting a hand there can really help. Feel the breath. And again, if the mind does begin to wander, that's okay. It doesn't matter how many times the mind wanders. We can just, we get to keep bringing it back to our breath and to find that breath focus. Nice deep inhales and full exhales. Notice if the body is able to relax a little deeper, feeling supported by the earth, noticing those connections with the earth beneath you. When you're ready, gently find a little bit of movement in the fingers and the toes. As always, if you want a longer Shavasana, feel free to pause the video here and take that. Find some wrist circles, ankle circles, gently looking side to side with the head. Stepping those feet in. I like to pull the knees to chest and find a little low back massage, gently circling those knees. If you chose to close the eyes, or if the eyes did end up closing, you might open them now. And then, just like at the beginning of class, if you want to find one side of the body to press tall, you can. You could also, if the knees are pulled in, find a gentle rock forward and back before coming all the way tall. We're all going to meet in our tall seated pose. Taking your time here, no rush at all. Just getting the settled. Let's take a breath here all together. Nice big inhale. Exhale, release to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today, my fellow humans. I hope you enjoyed this week's full body practice, and I will see you again next time. Bye.